And I'm gonna start the music.
Sounds like it coming on to me.
Hear me?
Barely, Doc.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Now. Is it better now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. I don't hear anything.
Okay, y'all messing up the intro every time you start talking. You do know that, right? The music is playing and we're going. Here we go. Welcome to Juneteenth 101 podcast and lecture series, the podcast where we discuss all things Juneteenth. I am your host, Dr. Cassie Sade, Turnipseed, and I want to acknowledge my co-producer, Brother Kareem Muhammad, as he joins me today as co-host. Also, our resident scholar, Brother Delridge Hunter, who too will join in as co-host today. Brother Kareem, Dr. Hunter, how are you today?
Good afternoon, everybody.
Salam alaikum, hotel, free land, power to the people, all things Juneteenth.
I also wanted to acknowledge at this time our favorite contributors to this podcast is Brother Mufalik and Sister Nita. How y'all doing?
Wonderful, wonderful. Glad to be here.
Glad to be here also.
Yes, looking forward to hearing from Brother Harold.
Cool. Brother Harold, we're about to introduce you. So just one moment. This podcast is presented by Do Better Productions, bridging the gap to knowledge, and that's the cotton picking truth, because when we know better, we just do better. Now, this series of incredibly informative lectures is presented weekly in partnership with Mississippi-based Cafre Inc., the local organizing committee of Byron, Mississippi, Trans Art of New York, Jackson State University's History and Philosophy Department, and the Juneteenth Festival producers nationwide who are also members of the National Juneteenth Observance Foundation, NJOF. Now, these lectures are designed to teach and are inform the world about all Juneteenth. Do Better Productions lecture series today we present with a Haitian activist and native, Brother Harold Campare. And in his own words, I'm going to read his bio, and it was, I was born in Cap Haitian, Haiti, and immigrated to the United States in 1975. My activism in this country started at the height of the right-wing military death squad killings in El Salvador, backed by Reagan administration. Protests were then organized in the St. Louis area against the support accorded to the murderous Salvadorian army by the American government. With the help of organizations such as the Socialist Workers' Party, Organizations for Black Struggle, Latin American Solidarity Committee, and the American Friends Service Committee, we also manifested against the military dictatorship in Haiti, backed by the CIA. That sabotaged the election of November the 27th, 1987, with a bloody massacre of the civilian in the voting booths. As coordinator of CHF, which you'll explain later, I was to raise some funds in the Haitian community of St. Louis to support the presidential campaign of then Father Jean-Bertrand Aristide, who would become the first democratically elected president of Haiti in 1989. Following his inauguration in February 1990, Aristide was overthrown in a bloody US-backed coup d'etat in September of the same year. With the same organizations mentioned above and a fusion with the International 10th Department of Haiti, to which were added to the National Black United Front. Members of the St. Louis chapter of the Association for the Classical African Civilizations, ASCAC, and the support of the late Catherine Dunham, numerous protest teachings and conferences were realized to pressure the United States government to return Aristide back to power and to denounce the flagrant humiliations and human rights abuses inflicted on my countrymen at the American Naval Base Guantanamo in Cuba. Guantanamo. Oh, that's Guantanamo Bay. Okay. In 2024, the aftermath of a cyclone that ravaged the central part of Haiti under the leadership of Universal African People Organization and the sponsorship of many of the same organizations already mentioned above, and to which were added to the Nation of Islam a collection of 40 tons of material consisting of clothing, sterile water, drinking water, medication, and others was sent to the I'm not sure if I know that name, Ghanives, in order to aid the victims of that disaster. Now, during today's podcast, we shall discuss all of this. And the issue at hand is what is going on in Haiti right now with Brother Kareem, Dr. Hunter, myself, and you, the audience. So please, let's go. This is all things Juneteenth, y'all. So, Brother Harold Compare, welcome to the mic.
Well, thank you for inviting me, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk about my country.
You're welcome.
Yes, yes, yes.
Give us your appraisal.
Okay, so the format of this program, this podcast, is that we give you the floor where you can talk about your issue for about up to 30 minutes or so. And then we take the next 30 minutes where we discuss and ask questions. So you don't have to take the full 30 minutes, but you have 30 minutes basically to explain your position to our audience.
Well, I like that. Okay, so, right?
Yeah.
Yes. A lot of people, okay, in this country have seen, okay, mostly on television. They heard it on the radio also. Troubles in Haiti. And everywhere you go, okay, people ask you, which country you come from? Haiti. Oh, there's a lot of trouble. But they get information, okay, which is tailored for them to do not know anything really, which means you have information, but in fact, this information is misinformation because they don't give you a chronological a story of what's going on, and they give it to you in piecemeal. In other words, you can make the connection. All you see is trouble, and all you know is trouble. This country has a lot of trouble. Why he has a lot of trouble? Okay. To start with, I am not going to go far, okay, but for me, it is necessary, okay, to know that from the independence of Haiti, okay, in 1803, 1804, this is a country which is placed in the mind of US politician, United States politician, to the left. So they never agree with the presence of this country. They never agree with what it's doing, even though there's something like 800 to 1,000 Haitians who went and fought in Savannah, Georgia, for the American independence. No matter that we indirectly help the US to be the great country that it is now, because of Napoleon Bonaparte is losing the war in Haiti in 1803. Okay, they concede to the US the Louisiana territory. The Louisiana territory, this is very huge. Okay, that's 2,600,000 kilometers square. So that makes the US the biggest country that it is right now. And not only that, even before that, Toussaint Louverture prevent the US to be a possession of France. Because at that time of the Toussaint Louverture, I'm talking about 1798, France was governed by what we call the Directoire, the Directory. So those people not only have some kind of embargo against the US, the Directory in France, okay, put together with the British, okay, to seize all American vessels who are delivering goods in Europe or in the Caribbean where they held dominion. Those two countries, France and England, held dominion. Toussaint Louverture send a letter to the US government and tell them that he offered his service, okay, to prevent England and France to seize those vessels. Not only that, as the Directory is on the brink of invading the United States at that time, and the United States didn't have the military power to resist France at that time. France was the military power at that time. So the US could not resist, but they needed the collaboration of the governors around the United States, and Toussaint Louverture vetoed that. So he prevented the Directory, okay, to attack the United States. So there again, if the United States exists, it is by the grace of Toussaint Louverture who veto it. Okay, so the French, okay, could not invade the United States because it doesn't have the collaboration of all the governors in this area to do it. So at the end, they decide they're losing the war. France is losing the war. So he decided to concede the Louisiana territory, I just mentioned it, okay, to the United States. So in other words, what I'm saying here, the Haiti has benefited, okay, in the former years, okay, in the prime years of the United States, okay. Most Haitians will talk about the fact that we fought in Savannah, Georgia for the American independence, okay, in 1975, 1976, okay, but what I relate to you has more profound impact, okay, on the birth years of the United States. But the US, okay, did not answer in kind. Indeed, okay, there is one American ambassador at that time who said that they cannot accept the presence of a Negro country in this area. Okay, and from Jefferson to here, they put together, okay, with friends, okay, to make sure this country is going to be pauperized and will never be a success story. They're going to make sure of that. And they did it. Okay, and I am going to jump a little bit to the indemnity debt that we pay to France, 150 million, okay, nominally, was paid to France, okay, from 1825, and we finished to pay from 1947. And the country didn't have money, okay, to pay it. We have to borrow again in French bank in order, okay, to finish to pay it. So by 1947, we finished to pay it, but Haiti could not organize economically as a country because the money that he is having is being paid to France and is evaluated that Haiti pay 5 times that money since he has to borrow it to France. Okay, so you can imagine a country that this amount that he has to pay every year is more than his national budget.
That's right.
Okay, cannot prosper. So you know what happens, and then in the early 1800s, indeed, after Haiti became independent, France is sent a diplomat in Haiti. So he was under the diplomatic cover. His name is Théodore Moulin. His mission was to study Haitian society and came, okay, after his observation, okay, to put, okay, in how they're going to divide, they're going to create problem inside the nation, where Haitian, okay, will be divided. In other words, they are pitting Haitian against Haitians. So that was the purpose of Théodore Moulin. When the American invaded Haiti in 1915, they occupy almost everything, all spheres of activities in Haiti. It was occupied by the US. And the only thing they could control is the education. Okay, so they left the education system to France. The reason why we knew that is that they provide to the United States the observation, the study on how to control Haiti and how to divide the Haitian and pit them once against each other. So you see, this is a diabolical aim that those people have in Haiti. I am going to make a jump again and go to, do not make it too long, and go to the first elected government that we had in Haiti in 1991, when the Haitian put together and they elected the Reverend Father Jean-Bertrand Aristide. He was on the side of the people. He was elected with 70% of the electoral vote. At that time, the greatest accumulation of vote in the Western Hemisphere by president. But 7 months after, the CIA did a coup d'etat for under Bush Senior. We mobilized. It was, for the first time, the US has to return back to power a president that they dethroned, they removed from power. And Clinton removed him, and Bush Senior decide that he's going to do what his father did. Okay, he did another coup d'etat against Aristide again in 2004. Imagine a country who has all those enemies surround him, and as a politician said, and Haitian politician said, God is too far and the US is too close to us. Okay, this is the problem. God is too far, but the US is too close. Okay, and then after overthrowing Aristide in 2004, that was the second to the top a mastermind by France, Canada, and the US. At that time, before Aristide was removed from that kidnapping from the US Armed Force, because the US has to send his armed force to take him, okay, to kidnap him, because Haiti make sure he get rid of the army. If the Haitian army was there, the Haitian army would have killed him. Okay, but since the Haitian army was not there, the US was forced to send his own army, his own military to take him. Okay, so they put him in a Central Africa where there is an epidemic, a widespread epidemic of malaria. So they put him there without the knowledge of the Central African government. They send him there to die, in fact. Okay, but fortunately for him, as he was going to the plane, someone slipped a phone into his pocket. And that's where he was able to call some people here. Among some people, the first person I think he called Representative Maxine Waters. Okay, and also there is a journalist who is doing Democracy Now. Okay, in YouTube, he called her also. And there is another, I forgot the name of this guy, because he did some hunger strike under Clinton to force the Clinton to return Aristide also. I forgot his name. Okay, but anyway, the situation that we have now is, right now we hear gangs in Haiti. Gangs, okay, are killing people, raping women, things like that. Where do those people receive their weapons? According to a UN report of 2023, they have 600,000 weapons of war in the hands of those people. Those people, some of them don't even have shoes to wear, okay? But they have very sophisticated weapons in their hands. According to this UN report, 90% of the 600,000 weapons of war plus ammunition were in Haiti came from the US. When I met people and I explained that to them, and they say, well, you know, the US, that doesn't mean the US is responsible of something like that, because people usually, sometimes they command some food or other material and they put some guns in it. I told them, listen, I'm pretty sure if those group of people in Haiti, they were communist and they were allied to Cuba, they were allied to North Korea, they were allied to China, you can bet even a pocket knife they will not have received from the US. So this is an excuse, the question that, well, you know, they can escape US control. 600,000 weapons like that cannot just escape US control. And as I just said, okay, I'm pretty sure if those people, okay, was an embryo of communist people in Haiti, who were in Haiti, and they were commanding weapons from the US, they will not even receive a pocket knife from the US. So to me, the US is largely responsible. And indeed, from history, the history of masterminding, destabilizing Haiti, doing coup d'etat after coup d'etat to put their own puppet government in place, I think the US is one of the greatest danger, I will say, for Haiti. So what now, if we follow very well what the so-called gangs are doing in Haiti, they changed their strategy. Before, they were a question of kidnapping people, making a lot of money, kidnapping people, killing, raping. Now, what they are doing right now, they unify themselves together. They call live together, vivre ensemble, live together. Okay. And what they are doing now, they will go to school. They will sabotage the school, put fire. They will go to universities, do the same thing. Okay, and they will go to pharmacy, do the same thing. They will go to a hospital. Okay, make sure they will break everything inside the hospital, and also I have to remind myself that before they will put themselves together, the idea of putting themselves together did not come directly from them. No, they came from an emissary who is in charge of diplomacy in Haiti from the United Nations, and who is also a friend of the Clinton. Her name was Hélène Lalim. This lady came as a representative of the UN. This lady came with the idea it will be good to have a federation of those gangs. You see that? So you're talking about gangs, people are talking about gangs, they're supposed to be prevented by laws to have any kind of social activities. But you have someone from the United Nations, a representative for United Nations, who came with the idea not to eliminate the gang, but to federate them together. So one can imagine which kind of problems that we are having. So those gangs now, you have in your mind, why do they change a strategy? It's not a question. You know what they are doing right now. There is someone who is powerful, who is telling them, giving them direction. There is someone who is telling them, well, you know what happened? Do not waste your time anymore in kidnapping people. What you're going to start to set fire, destroy institution, destroy school, destroy every kind of functioning things that you see in front of you. The reason why? Because, well, they want the Haitian to put their knees on the ground and say, please, please come and deliver us, US. US, please, and they come and deliver us. That's the reason why this is taking place. So they have a change strategy. Okay, one can examine, analyze what is taking place, and one can know nobody, okay, in the right mind will not come to the same conclusion that I have. They are receiving orders to do that. Okay, they are death squads. Okay, so if right now what you have now, we have what they call a transitional government, a college, a 5 president, okay, 7 president, I mean, in a transitional college with 2 observers. This was facilitated by the members of CARICOM, of course, with the input of the US, because one of the conditions to participate in that presidential college, every member should agree with military intervention in Haiti. Oh, you see? So everything now is falling in place. You see where they were going. They are going.
Mhm.
Now they went to Kenya. Of course, they knew. Before I say they went to take Kenya, Haiti itself asked before, okay, to have some African countries like Rwanda, Senegal, and I believe
Gambia.
Kenya, to help them. Those countries accepted to help. And the day that the Chinese and the Russian in the Security Council of the UN Security Council, they say, okay, they're going to help the Haitian, they're going to vote for such thing. The day of the vote, suddenly the foreign minister of Haiti say everything is under control. He was told, okay, to say that, okay, by the US. Everything is under control, and Russia, China could not vote on that. So after a while, the US itself decide that it's going to go and ask Kenya to spearhead a military intervention after Canada refused to do so. But we know what happens last 2 weeks ago when the wife of the president of Kenya came to the US, sit down in an interview with the head of the so-called gangs, Chemise Cherizier, okay, called Barbecue. Okay, so how come you are the wife of the president, which means you came to the US. In fact, you represent the US, you represent your country, Kenya. You are the very one who are they going to send you as a police force, okay, to Haiti. And the first thing you do when you came here to the US is to sit down and have an interview with the head of the gang in Haiti. So you can tell me what the Kenya is going to do in Haiti. And some days, I think 3 or 4 days ago, the inspector chief of police in Kenya was accused himself of providing weapons and ammunition to the gangs of his own country. So this is something which is he's the inspector of police in a country who is going to help Haiti. This guy is already corrupt in his own country. They find him that with proof, okay, that he is helping gangs in his country and provide them weapons and ammunition. So one can tell me which what you are seeing are the solution that the US is providing for Haiti, or it is the chaos that he wants to continue, which means he's choosing people who are not serious, people who are already corrupt themselves, okay, and tell them, okay, you're going to spearhead, you're going to help Haiti, okay, knowing very well he's addressing himself to a lot of corrupted people, because it is beyond me that the wife of the President Ruto in Kenya will come and in the US. She came in the US and have a interview, have a conversation with the head of the gang in Haiti called Barbecue. This is, to me, that's the bottom of a corruption. Yeah. So the presidential college, go back to it, is made of different political parties. And some of those political parties are not really seeing eye to eye. And I can see that's me with talking personally. That I'm thinking my personality. Even though I am not going to oppose what they are doing, but I have seen among them people who have participated in 2004. To me, and till now, my formula has not failed me. Every Haitian who participated in 2004, which means the overthrow of President Aristide, well, they are born in the same country. They were born in the same country with me. I cannot say they are Haitian, but to me, they are traitors. Okay, they are very traitor. I don't trust them, and I don't believe them on them. But okay, and also from a philosophical point of view, I have never witnessed good coming from bad. I have never witnessed that. So I don't have too much hope. I hope they can prove me, okay, we were bad people, we did bad things, but now we're going to do good things for Haiti. So we are waiting that. And those people, okay, they probably are selected by here also. I will not be surprised. Okay, so
thank you.
okay,
That's
so ask questions and
Go ahead, Harold.
yes, yes. You've given us a lot to write on. We're gonna clearly have to do this in two shows, two segments.
Yes, indeed.
Because there's way too much information and material here to distill and to try to work our way through. Let me deal with the wife, that Kenyan wife.
the President Ruto. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. You said that she came
Yeah.
to America to
Yes.
have
Yes.
interviews with the gangs in Haiti. Were the gangs in Haiti brought to America to facilitate that?
Did you see what we are doing here? They
The
did
Zoom. It was through
yeah,
Zoom.
did like that. But it's not only, if you look at very well, not only her make an interview with the head of the gang, this head of the gang is being okay by the United Nations. Okay, his head has a price on it, which means everybody who can put their hands on him, they should arrest him. So he's an international outlaw. He's a terrorist. Okay.
Yeah.
However, you have this wife sitting down with a terrorist. Okay. He is named a terrorist. There is a price on his head. Okay, as an outlaw person. You're going to have the president of a country who is going to help us put a order in the country. He's going to have an interview with this guy. Okay, sit down and talk to him. You're going to have a interview from a journalist from Paris Match in France coming and have interview with him. You have a journalist from CNN sitting down with someone who is outlawed, okay, and talk to him. However, he's a terrorist. So one can see those people, okay, that they call gangs, leaders, things like that. They are just treated with kids' gloves. Those are our kids, okay? We're not going to do anything to you.
I'm trying to understand, what is the wife's credential in having this interview?
The first lady. Okay.
She's the wife of the president.
Yeah,
Is the president. But one has, you don't have to have a title. If you are the first lady, you're going to do something like that. I am pretty sure you didn't do it without the consent of your husband.
But she's not a journalist. She's not an ambassador. Exactly. What was her goal in having this interview? What's the purpose?
Well,
in the bed with America,
to me, is speculative, okay? Which means I'm going to speculate but based on logical reasoning. If you can come at a first lady, you do such interview with a person, which means you establishing, okay, a way of compromising with him. You're trying to find a way, okay, to promise him stuff, and okay, in return, okay, you will not be punished really. So to me, that's what it is, okay? Because I don't see the purpose of doing something like that, which is not a compromise, which means I am going to, you do this for us, and we're going to do this for you.
That's right.
But we're going to protect you at the end.
That's
Okay.
right.
Okay, so if you accept to do this and that, and let us not be too naive to think she's going to tell him that in the interview. No, she will never make that mistake. Just by talking to him, show him that he's talking to him. Okay,
Yeah.
but there will be someone in Haiti who will be conveyed to barbecue to the head of the gangs. Okay, what the lady wants. Okay, it's just now the interview that she did with him is to make him have a trust.
Yeah, he's a big shot now.
Yeah, exactly. You give him accreditation.
That's right.
You give him some respect. Okay, because the president, okay, sit down with someone who is outlaw, who is a terrorist, international terrorist, okay, and you sit down with him.
I would like to comment.
Okay.
To make things clear, I said, I think it was last week or week before, the idea in Haiti is to never allow it to be a functioning country.
Yes.
Start with that as the premise. You're never to allow a Black nation that won its independence by overthrowing Napoleon become a respectable nation and can operate in civility with all the other nations. Never. Do you hear me? That's my fifth axiom that I use all the time. We're never going to let you out of this position. Are we going to let you out to use any other position to get out of this position? All of these things that are being done, including the CARICOM, which has good intent, is done to allow Haiti to operate as an independent, functional country. If it was possible, and if it was in the interest of the United States for it to be, it would have been a long time ago, from the beginning. Some administration would have come along and allowed it to create a functional society. The idea has been the intent, and I'm telling you, brother, the intent is never to allow Haiti to operate as a functional country.
Harold knows that.
Yes, I do agree with you 100%.
Yeah, but I'm saying, so anyone who comes, the wife of the Kenyan guy who came in, she was working for the State Department.
Right.
So nobody operates outside of the United States interest in doing anything for Haiti, because that has never been the intent, to allow Haiti to operate as a functional country. There were no communists who will bring in. Anytime any country has weapons, you can be assured that they came from the United States. I will assure you of that.
Absolutely, including Israel.
All since I've been working studying the European. There has never been any interest in doing anything positive for Haiti.
Absolutely.
All of the things, the gains that finally came at the Aristide
last
is a
result.
Democrat. They made him into a communist. He's the damn minister in the Catholic Church. How in the hell he gonna be a communist? But they made him into everybody who tries to do something positive for the country, something is done to make sure it never succeeds.
Absolutely. And if I may, Doc, add on to what you're saying, I think that, and again, first of all, I want to say, Harold, beautiful, beautiful presentation.
Yeah.
As Dr. Sade said, the information was so powerful. And thank you, Dr. Shea, as well, for bringing this on like this. But I wanted to first and foremost start with the premise, the causation of this. We tend to look at one another, look at the so-called gangs over there, look at the so-called rulers over there, and we look at them, and then we tend to talk a little bit about America. But Haiti is, if not one of, but the oldest colonized island in this northern hemisphere. It is the oldest. And I mean, you're talking about 600 years or more. And so therefore, it always has been a model for what they wanted to do in North America and other areas as well. And so when you look at the Haitian brothers over there, it's the same thing as in America. They don't speak their own language. They don't have their own names. They don't have their own religion for the most part. Like you just said, the president, he was a Catholic. Most of them are Catholics, other parts of Christians. And so when you talked about the destabilization part of it, the largest destabilization came in when, even though whether it was France or America, that was controlling the education system, was the education system. And so once you can control the education system and the food system, then you have the people. And so that is what we're looking at. We're looking at a system that has been colonized by Europeans, whether they were Spain, whether it was Britain, whether it was America. They just took their turn. Whether it was France, they just took their turn. But they all get the same concept: control the darker people and dominate and manipulate the people for the control of the European. And so that is what we're looking at right now. And my premise is that until we as darker original people begin to get our education system back, control our own culture, our own religion, our own language, and begin to identify with our names, all of that Black, and identify back with the family culture of our people, we will continue to be at odds with one another and looking at one another as the enemy, as opposed to looking at the real enemy.
Okay.
What you thought about the fight against darker people? You have touched, okay, on the issue and the reason why Haiti, okay, is being treated that way.
Right.
Or education, okay, that we have received, okay, I call it a platonic form of education, led us to analyze a situation in which we are looking for what is the reason, what is the aim. And when we say what is the aim of the US, a lot of people asking you, but what are the interests of the US? They asking you that in terms of a system of education will let them know, okay, to be objective, you have to find an object, a matter, okay? And that's the way they analyze it, which means in their view, Tasmania, for example, where the people from recent European extraction, okay, has killed everybody, annihilated the inhabitants of. When we have to ask, but what those non-melanated people, what are their interests in Tasmania to do that? They kill everybody, not even a single one. And our borders, and sisters in Australia, in 200 years, I don't think they will exist anymore. We'll make sure that they kill them. Indeed, the president of Australia come to visit last month in the White House. I wish there was no single black person there, because his country, a few days before his visit, his country has voted in a referendum against those Aboriginal people in Australia to vote.
That's right.
Okay? So, what you are saying is very right. So, a lot of people are talking about natural resources. Yes, they say Haiti has natural resources. President Harris said itself to his return from South Africa to Haiti, talk about, okay, what we have, okay, in the ground of Haiti as natural resources. So we have natural resources, but let us not make a mistake, okay? The natural resources is part of it. People think that's the end of it. They just want the natural resources. No. You have the natural resources as a melanated people. The non-melanated people are not going to let you control it. Because if you control it, okay, genetically they have a problem. Okay, which means if I am wealthy, there are millions of people in Australia, in South Africa, who are wealthy, then they are going to have a lot of mixing in terms of risk, intermixing, because those people have money. In order to prevent some kind of genetic decline on their part, they have to control what is going in your pocket, which means they have to control what you have yourself, the natural resources that you have, so that they can prevent something like that to occur. If they allow Haiti, they allow country in Congo, okay, to control their diamond, their gold, that means genetically they are in trouble. Okay, because the wealth of those people, okay, are going to nullify the question of the notion of race.
Wonderful.
Okay? And they will. So they have to make sure they pauperize you, even you have natural resource in your hand. Okay, that's right. Okay, and they are also helped, but because that's what racism is. Okay,
yeah,
they are helped. When a racist person, okay, is someone who has also some feeling of ephemeral superiority. I'm saying, yeah, ephemeral superiority.
That's right. That's right.
The complex.
And
so
how
them to be racist, okay, in order for them to keep the racism, okay, they have, okay, to have sometimes that feeling. I say sometimes because that's something ephemeral. They must have that ephemeral feeling of superiority sometimes to sustain the racism that they have.
That's right. Harold, I don't want to cut you off, but we want to allow others to ask some questions for sure. And then we're going to, Dr. Sade, myself, and Dr. I'm going to close out with one more question, because you answered the other part that I had, which about the resources. So I thank you for that one. Go ahead on, Dr. Sade.
Well, no, I wanted him to roll with it because he was
someone else to answer
really, he was making some very important points about this is universal effort against melanated people, that we just need to remind melanated people that we're gonna have to do something and stop sitting and waiting on the Lord to come or whatever.
But
I'm
we
just
did for ourselves what we can do. Half the problem would be gone. We just haven't done what we can do. We can't. We are African American. Have the ability of any other group to do everything we can do.
But I think that we're trying to do it within the indoctrination of these Europeans indoctrination. I think we're trying to do it with their names, with their culture, with their values.
NAACP is always run by the
and it's not going to work like that. You know,
Nita has asked that very same question. Nita, did you want to open up the mic and ask it yourself, or you want me to read?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Brother Harold.
Welcome. Thank you.
You know, all of this is what arguments that I've been in with people locally, just, you know, in general conversation, saying, hey, there's more to this story. And Brother Harold just broke it down for me. But I want to know in the meantime, is there anything that we can do now? You know, what can we do to help Haiti now?
Well, I know you remember when he mentioned about what happened, and I think that was what was that, 96 or so, when I mean 86 or so, when 96, when we the Nation of Islam and many of other organizations came together and began to send resources over there. But what we found out when we sent those resources over there is that we didn't have the organization and the collaboration with the boots on the ground, that when we sent the resources, that they would get to the people that we needed to get them to. And so we learned from that part. But the other part that we also learned was that we was not as organized in America that we needed to organize. We don't have control of our hospitals. We don't have control of our education system. So if we don't have control of our own, then it's not easy for us to pull our resources together and try to help another country that looks like us. But you can go ahead and answer her.
Yes, it's true. Okay. However, since we're talking also, because we're talking about names, we're talking about a language, those are two. But however, at the same time, okay, they mess up with our history, but they mess up if our history so bad that we talk. That's the name that we have. They are the name they gave us. Yes, it's true. When they came from Africa, there is in the name they gave us. Okay, they told us it was a Christian name. What their history don't tell them, Black peoples in Europe, because the indigenous people of Europe before the Bronze Age were Black people. So Black people from the Bronze Age to till at least 16th, 17th century. I don't know if we read the books of David McRitchie on the Black Briton and other one. They show you the population of Europe, okay, they have a lot of Black people in it. In other words, those names, for example, when they call me a Teutonic name, by the name, Harold is a Teutonic name, okay? But one will think they let you believe the Teutons, the Vikings, those people were white people. No, they were people like you.
Celts. That's the Celts. That's right. The Celts.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, so in other words, we should not think really when they call ourselves Harold, John. Okay, we have a European non-melanated words. No. Okay, we have our input in those words in Europe when we were in Europe. So we should not discard things like that, okay, just on the basis because they are the one who gave it to us when they took us from West Central Africa. Okay, because those names also, we have an input of those names. For example, look at now, if they're talking about Indo-European language, but where the Latin language came from. The Latin language came from, the roots of the Latin language are in the Kikongo, Lingala, and a little bit in Swahili. So that's where the Latin language came from. Martin Bernal also in his books, okay, a Black Athena, showed that 40% of Greek words are African words.
That's right.
Harold,
Yes.
I do want to extend an invitation to you to join us again next week. I don't know what your calendar looks like, but there's so much more that we need to discuss in this on this issue. So
I will be there next week.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Perfect. And I think the brother that you were trying to remember who did the fast, wasn't that Randall Robinson?
Randall Robinson, that was him.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
That's
Okay.
what it was. Yeah,
That's
Randall.
who it was. Yes, okay. So look,
Yes.
I want to thank you so much, Mr. Campare. Is it Campare or Campere?
Compare, like the verb to
Compare. Compare.
Yeah.
Compare.
Uh-huh.
Harold Compare is our superstar today. You're amazing. And I can tell, you and my fellow historians who are here, Dr. Hunter and Brother Kareem, we should just turn the mic on, let y'all just go. Because again, this is important. I'm a historian as well, but this information right here, most of it is just, it's not that it's new, but it's the way that you're speaking of it, and bringing it up to, from the beginnings to where we are today is just critical analysis. And I really want to encourage you to, again, just go ahead and roll with it. We're going to just let you talk for a minute as we document these lectures. And I know everyone has learned so much today about African contribution to world history, really. And this, again, as a reminder, this is a lecture series that is presented by CAFRE Inc., the local organizing committee of Byron, Mississippi, Trans Art, Jackson State University's History and Philosophy Department, and Juneteenth Festival producers nationwide who are members of the National Juneteenth Observance Foundation, NJOF. Please do spread the word. Tell your friends about our Juneteenth 101 podcast, and be sure to join us next Sunday where we will have part 2 of Brother Harold Campane. I keep wanting to say Campane.
Compare.
Compare, like the verb to compare. To
Yeah,
compare.
where you will join us again for part 2 of
Yes.
conversation. So I want to see you next week, y'all. And it's 5 o'clock Central Standard Time right here in the Zoom room. Again, when you know better, say what? Say what?
You should.
You should do better.
You do better.
We will do better.
We will, we shall do
Yeah.
better. Brother Mafalek, you didn't get a chance to say a word, but if you have a word, Brother Kareem, Dr. Hunter, Nita, please, with that, I say hotep.
Okay. All things Juneteenth. I'm good.
Okay.
Well, no, with me, just briefly, I wanted to say again, thank you, Harold. We're looking forward for you coming back next week because we definitely want to bring this home to America, to the Black community, because what we see is hate happening in Haiti is the same thing. It's a model that's being used in Black America. So definitely, we look forward to that. Peace
Yes.
and love till next time, all things Juneteenth.
Yeah, because that will give me an opportunity to talk about how we analyze history. Okay, this is very important for us to understand what's going on. Okay.
Yeah. Dr. Hunter.
Well, as I say, Sister Alma John always taught us, each one teach one, each one reach one. Each one reach one, each one teach one. La luta continua, the struggle continues.
La luta continua, that's it.
All right. Peace and blessings to you all, and I will see you all next
Everybody have a
Sunday.
nice week and be careful.
Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right, you're
Powerful
welcome.
lesson. Powerful lesson. Thank you.
Thank
You want started, you asked for it.
Keep telling you,
You
got
made
to
it
read.
happen.
We have to read the thing I gave you on the invention of the Negro. I'm going to keep telling you until you do it. You
Okay.
have to
Yes,
read it.
sir.
How they invented the Negro. I give you 3 chapters on it.